Thank you. Good evening. My name is Melissa Holland. I'm the co-founder and executive director of a Nevada-based organization that's worked with upwards 600 survivors and victims of the sex trade in Nevada. We've been doing this for 9 years, and many of the women that we've worked with have come out of illegal sex trade as well. I do realize I'm from out of state, and I also realize I'm from a state that hasn't legalized, and that might give you pause to be, I don't know, maybe dismiss my testimony because it is legalization, not decriminalization, and because I'm from out of state. But I do ask you to consider it and be open-minded, because decriminalization is actually a step further than legalization and what its intention to regulate was for. I am here in opposition to this law. Nothing about this is theoretical or hypothetical for me. Nevada has a legalized sex trade for 48 years. And I'm fully aware of the unintended consequences when the buying of sex is normalized and prostitution is treated like a job like any other. Legal prostitution has brought horrific illegal byproducts for my state, my community, and the women and children that live there. First, it has created a breeding ground for sex tourism and sex trafficking to thrive. Nevada's illegal sex trade is the largest of any other state in our country. It is 63% higher than the next highest state. It is also in the top 10 states in the nation for trafficked youth. One estimate is 72% of those in the sex trade in Nevada are youth and with a trafficker. Women and children have paid the price for our laws. Secondly, when prostitution is legitimized, then the entire practice of it becomes normalized. In other words, the entire community inadvertently becomes groomed. Survivors tell me how their traffickers love coming to Nevada because the laws have done half the work for them. They brag that the recruiting in Nevada is the easiest than anywhere else in the country. Another survivor shared of her trafficker. He was raised in LA, and he was raised by a family of pimps. And when he turns 18, when all the sons turn 18, they send him to Nevada to work. When asked, why do you go to Nevada? Why not stay in LA? They said, because the market already exists and thrives in Nevada, so we go there. Additionally, when prostitution is a legal business and viewed as a job like any other, then it gets the same access and opportunities as any other business. Pimps can become elected officials. We have self-proclaimed pimps as county commissioners and state legislators. One such county commissioner, legal pimp, even came up with an event called Hunt a Hoe, where men with paintball guns get to run around the desert hunting women who work for him. The winner was able to have his way with his prey. Legal pimps, or business owners, as you may prefer to rebrand them, can also go into our high schools for career day because it is a job like any other. Legal pimps also get access to be coaches on girls' high school track teams. These are not sensationalized slippery slopes. These are the real consequences I have to live with in my community because of the unintended consequences of a law like this. I should also add that every high school in my community has a victim of trafficking that's come out of it. No school is safe when the demand for sex is high and legal. Thirdly, the legal sex trade gives permission to men to dehumanize women, which leads to further negative consequences. If you don't believe me, look at the rates for Nevada. Women in and out of the legal sex trade are sold, raped, beaten, assaulted, kidnapped, and murdered at levels high above the national average. Nevada consistently ranks #1 in the nation for domestic violence fatalities, 2nd in the nation for women to be murdered by men, 3rd in the nation for rape, sexual assault, 1st in the nation, as I said, for the illegal sex market, and top 10 for youth to be trafficked. The legalized sex industry, AKA a job like any other, has been detrimental to my community. Nevada is not safe for women. When you pass this law, DC won't be either. Because to a sex buyer, where one woman is allowed to be bought for his fantasy, then we all are. If a man tries to have sex with a woman that doesn't want to have sex with him, we call that sexual harassment. If he goes further and has sex with her anyways, we call that rape. However, if he uses money to convince her to have sex with him, it seems to confuse all of us. The money the sex buyer leaves behind represents his privilege to pay to rebrand his act of rape and call it consent. His payment provides him with the narrative that he did not harm her. He even gets to think she liked it. Most people agree that the punishment should fit the crime, and we all agree the person being purchased should not be criminalized. However, removing penalties for men who buy sex only aligns with his fantasy. It is not the reality. The sex buyer and the community are then groomed to believe he didn't cause any real harm, and your law protects his fantasy.
Thank you very much. All right.